Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. Teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. To the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. Quick slant there, gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Well, the determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now McCarthy. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Moulton. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 4. Brings up 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal, McCarthy. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs.
Ready up.
Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Let's go now. Blue, 32. Set.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Now he's free to midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 49 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ready.
Up the middle they go. Richter. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The Packers at 4-11 on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2.
Here we go. Hut.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richter. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Love, he's going to change the play here.
Hut.
On 1st down, Richter. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Okay.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Ready.
They'll try the left side. Richter. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
10-6. Mega. Black Ultra. Hut.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback. And they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. And these two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So a victory here in Lambeau would give them a sweep of the season series. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. To the air with McCarthy. Open man, Kyle Williams. He's got it. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
A gain of 26 yards. Ready? First down, Minnesota.
Now a handoff up the middle. Moulton. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy. Open man, that's Felton. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
A gain of 18 on the play. And the Vikings first down.
Up the middle they go. Moulton. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Brought down back at the 21-yard line.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw McCarthy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
A 38-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
got free to kick back now. Don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall and shack now. Still push a button to let the whip on the back down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my back down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chacktown. I got the crowd.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Ready.
And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Brings up third
Go
and
red. 6, mega. 6.
On third down, Richter. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
A gain of only a yard. It's fourth down.
10
Now,
seconds.
how about this? They'll change it at the line.
Go pink. Black shot. Ready?
Love to throw for it on fourth. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
On the ready. Here we go. Set.
They'll run on first down. Hoover. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Drill green. Blue, go. 60 red. Zoom black. Ready.
On first down, Richter. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
On the ready. Set. Cut.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richter, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Come on, set. Yellow, 50, green. Cut, cut.
Here's Love. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is McCarthy. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Moulton. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Here's McCarthy. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They run the counter. Moulton. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there, defense. Because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. So he's stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. That went out wide and intercepted. And the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44. I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on 4th down, but you're in the red zone, had 3 points in your back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone. Definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
95.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Ready.
Following the interception, Love. Now this aired out deep for Reed. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Packers. Jayden Reed, 55 yards. And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up.
He's got him in. Complete. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Ready? Put.
Now a give, right side. Richter. Room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Love wants to shift things around.
Ready?
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
It's a gain of 8. That's good for a Packers first down.
Hey,
First
red.
and 10 at the 47-yard
red.
line.
Hey, blue. Ready?
They'll run on first down. Richter. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go, set. 52 blue. Yellow, go. Smash, red.
Glove. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Let's go now. Yellow, 43. Blue, black. Blue, striker. Set.
To throw now. Here's Love. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10.
6, mega. Set, ready. 40, white. Claw, 10. Go pink. Drill green. Hut.
Love now. That'll be caught left side by Woods. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
on, set. 33, yellow. Set.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. They'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
It's complete to Williams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
On first down, Moulton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 25 yards. And the Vikings are able to stretch out their lead. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Now for the point after.
Up for the extra point.
And that one pushes the lead up to 11.
Makes the score Vikings 24, Packers 13. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
You know, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless, too.
Blue 32, 10 cycles. Needle blue. Ready?
Love looking to throw it. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it inside the 10. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards.
At the 5-yard line.
Claws red. White. Green jack. Hut.
Love from the gun. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
But defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal?
Red, 30, smash, red. Hut, hut.
Working out of the gun. Love. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, a field goal is probably not going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw from his end zone. McCarthy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you can easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. To throw from his end zone. McCarthy. Working in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. Moulton. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Oh, that's a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now a give, right side. It's Hoover. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Let's go.
They'll try the left side. Moulton. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 67 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. McCarthy is set to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Now McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To the air with McCarthy. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
23-yard line.
6, mega. Black shot, blue striker.
Now Love. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Blaster, 6. White, white. Red, cycle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Set. 60 red. 60. Hey, blue. Slice blue. Ready.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that will, of course, move the football up the field. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Escapes the defender. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do, he's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Josh Oliver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two.
McCarthy going to look to throw for it.
And this is going to be caught. So they have two more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
35-yard line.
Damn, I miss you, Chester. Sending love from
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Come on, set.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing. Love. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Ready, ready.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Set, ready. 10, set.
They'll try the left side. It's Woods. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Here we go, set. Black, rail, yellow. Ready.
To pass. Here's Jordan Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Set. Blue, 32, ready.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Let's go now. 52, blue, yellow, blue. Needle, blue. Set.
Here's Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Down. Red, 38. Hut.
Jacobs will take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
What a luxury it is to be able to call a bold ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Packers 20.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
1-yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. That is caught. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. To the right side and intercepted. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
McCarthy's pass intercepted. The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Come on, set. Black, 95. Blaster, 6. Smash, red. Hut.
Now Love. Watson making the catch. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
60 red. 6. Mega. Set.
Love looking to throw it. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Jonathan Bernard in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Yellow, 22. Claws red.
Love. He's going to let it fly. He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Let's
The
go.
Packers will set up for the
33,
2-point
yellow.
conversion.
Here's Love. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. And that one incomplete as it stops the clock, reading 18 seconds to go. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Moulton.
Number 36 on the carry. Made at the 36-yard line. The gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Throwing is McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And they've got it right across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory. But they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're playing that day. You're not just battling the crowd that's in attendance in that game. You're battling the history of the franchise. You're battling the ghosts that swirl around that place that help spur them on to victory. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, the most historic place in the league, and you have to make sure you stay focused on your task. Otherwise, you can get easily distracted.
Yeah, hats off to them for keeping that laser focus and getting the victory. So for the Vikings, they moved to 7-9 on the year with the win. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
So try it again. Starting me over right where it began.
It's pretty boring, isn't it? This existence.